Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I have a very cool profile for you guys because I just went undefeated yesterday at locals with my Evil Twin deck. So today I figured I would give you guys my profile on how I ran the deck. I haven't changed anything out. I'm really happy with how the deck flowed. I never really had any hands that were too bricky or anything, so worked out really well. My matchups yesterday were Virtual World round 1, and then into Eldritch, and then the final round, it was only a 3-round event yesterday because we didn't have too many people, but my third round was against Sky Striker. So overall, I still think that my matchups were pretty tough, so it is nice to know that this deck can hold up against, Eldritch with Floodgates and all that stuff, against all of the power that Virtual World can put out, and then also just how the grind game of Sky Strikers works. So overall, it worked really well. I'm really happy about it. Also, just a quick little plug, if you guys have not yet seen my Evil Twin lore video, it's sort of like a prediction video going over the whole storyline and the lore of all of the Live Twin and Evil Twin cards, ending with the new Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. So if you guys have not seen that, please go ahead and check that out. I will leave a link down in the description and at the end screen. But without any further ado, let's get on into this profile. So I'm playing 3 copies of the Live Twin Kiss-A-Kill. I've only got one of the Collector's Rare of this one so far. I am eventually trying to max rarity out the deck, but it's taken a long time because it's a little spendy. So yeah, 3 copies of the Live Twin Kiss-A-Kill, and then 3 copies of the Leela. Love these ratios. Everybody, it's pretty standard how all of the ratios work for this deck. But overall, you're playing 3 Kiss-A-Kill and 3 Leela. When these cards get normal summoned, you're able to special summon, normal or special summoned, you're able to special summon the other one from the deck. So it is really nice because if your opponent uses like Ghost Ogre or something on you, which a lot of people are playing Ghost Ogre and they don't really know how this deck functions, they Ghost Ogre and then this card gets popped. Doesn't really matter because then Kiss-A-Kill will land on the field, and then Kiss-A-Kill gets to special summon another Leela from the deck. So overall, like, Ghost Ogre really doesn't hurt the deck until you get more into the link plays. 2 copies of the Kiss-A-Kill Frost. This is just an extender for the deck because basically if your opponent uses like Imperm or something on the Leela, which stops the special summon, then you're able to just, if you have the Kiss-A-Kill Frost in hand, you can special summon this to the field as long as you have the Leela, and then you can go on with your link plays as normal, just basically as if you already had the Kiss-A-Kill on the field, the regular one. Then when this card's in the graveyard, it just helps you to draw a card. Then we have our Leela extender, which is cool. This card does sort of some battle stuff while in the graveyard. If you take damage while there is an Evil Twin monster on the field, you can banish this card from, or either player takes damage, you can banish this from the graveyard to make one of your opponent's monsters attack go down equal to the damage. So basically your monster usually goes to like 11, your opponent's monster goes to about 1100 attack, which is okay. It comes up every now and then. Wasn't very helpful against Sky Strikers or anything because they could just always keep swapping it out for like the new links. But overall, it does still have applications where it comes up, and just the draw effect off of the Frost is super duper nice. You draw so many cards in this deck. 1 copy of our Brick, the Evil Twins, Kiss-A-Kill, and Leela. I've never summoned this in a duel, but still it is really nice to have in the deck because you can just pitch this from the main deck or hand or field also with your Evil Twins Trouble Sunny, which we will get to a little bit later. We then have 2 copies of Ash Blossom, starting with our hand traps. I ran this down to 2 just because this deck draws so much. An Ash Blossom is really good, but I would rather have 1 Ash Blossom and then like something else in my hand rather than like 2 or God forbid 3 Ash Blossoms. So there are a lot of instances where you could run into drawing doubles, so you're never going to end up having 3 Ash in your hand if you only play 2. So that's sort of my reasoning. If you want to, you could try to find some space in here to get rid of a card and put in that 3rd Ash, but I'm a big advocate for Ash at 2 in a lot of decks. Then we're playing 2 Ghost Ogre, just because Ghost Ogre does hurt us when we do go into our link plays, like I said, and we are playing Crossout Designator in here, so I wanted to make sure that I had a couple of these, and also it's just super duper good against your matchups with like the PK Brave engine and all that stuff. So then we are going on into one copy of Effect Veiler. All of these singles are really just our targets for Crossout Designator, but also they have really good application against the meta. So we have one of our Ghost Bell and then also one DD Crow. DD Crow is super duper good as well. Then one copy of Nibiru, super duper good. It was very helpful yesterday against the Virtual World matchup. So I was really happy to have it there. And then one copy of Scythe. Scythe is in here because we are able to pop a lot of stuff with our Leela Link monster. So you can technically Scythe lock your opponent, but again, with that Crossout Designator, if you know that your opponent's going to be coming in with the Scythe, then you can literally just wait on this with your Scythe for the Crossout Designator, and then you just don't have to worry about it because you cannot get Scythe locked out from your opponent, because then you will be dead, because this deck just really relies on those extra deck plays. It's not a big deal if you've already gone into your extra deck and then you have your graveyard set up, but if your opponent goes first and Scythe locks you, then it's really detrimental to the deck. 3 copies of Crossout Designator. This card is insane in here. It didn't come up a whole lot yesterday during locals, but still it was nice. Like, I knew that I had it in the deck. There were a lot of times where I had 1 or 2 of these in hand, and then I'm like, going on with my plays, and I never got ashed or anything, and I'm just like, okay, this is cool. But if it does come up, I have the protection. So it's really cool to know that you're basically immune to a lot of stuff in this deck. Like, Crossout Designator is okay in decks where you can fill it in. It's not great in decks where you only have like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 hand traps. It's really powerful in here where you play a little bit of everything. Then we're playing our 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. It's so good in this deck as well because, like I said, with these 2 cards, if they get hit by like Ghost Ogre, it also works with Forbidden Droplet. If your effect is about to get like negated or something by an Imperm, you can just Forbidden Droplet, send it to the graveyard, negate one of your opponent's monsters, and then get the other one onto the field, and then that monster will special summon the other monster. So Forbidden Droplet, super free in this deck. 3 copies of Secret Password to add our Evil Twin or Live Twin Speller Traps. The best Live Twin Speller Trap, which is our Sunny Snitch, which came out in Dawn of Majesty. Maybe one of the best cards to come out in Dawn of Majesty overall. But this card lets you basically Rhoda, and then it's a continuous spell which burns your opponent for 200 and gains you 200 every time they normal or special summon a monster, as long as you have an Evil Twin monster on the field. So this does come up quite a bit just to let your opponent burn themselves a little bit and let you gain. It's not like it's really going to change the outcome of a lot of duels, but every now and then it does come up where like you're like, hey, look at that. Now I can activate, if you have Solemn Strikes in the deck or anything like that, it can actually help a little bit in the long run. Then we're playing 2 copies of Live Twin Home. I think that this is the right ratio. This card is not as great as I wish it was, but overall, discard 1 card, special summon a Kiss a Kill or Leela from the deck. It is nice for, you can't maybe use it during your turn if you have something else out, like if you went into your double A Zeus or anything. Then you can't really use your guys to go into their plays because they need to have no monsters on the board besides themselves. But if you save this for your turn, then your opponent maybe is about to attack you for game, you can still summon this, and then you get 2 bodies on board and stuff like that. It is just actually really helpful, and it's just another monster search, basically. 1 copy of Triple Tactics Talent as another target for Crossout Designator. 1 copy of Call by the Grave. If you don't like either of these, especially the Triple Tactics, you could take this out for the 3rd Ash. We have 1 copy of Monster Reborn. Again, another very generic card that you could technically cross out. Otherwise, this is just a really nice card to be able to use if your engine gets disrupted, and then you can just use like Monster Reborn, bring back Kiss a Kill, resurrect your Leela. Leela can pop a card and then do your link plays and stuff like that. Really cool. 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster just to be able to blow up boards. This deck still just needs to get through all of the back row stuff. One of the biggest, hardest matchups is Eldritch for this deck, because you can't really get around like summon limit and all that stuff if you can't get into your Leela. So overall, the Harpy's Feather Duster is really nice to just clear those back row decks. It came in clutch yesterday against my Eldritch matchup. We have our 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence and then 1 copy of the Evil Twins Challenge. This card is in here basically to get around Nibiru. So with this card, you target a Kill or Leela in your graveyard, special summon it, and then you get to link summon after this effect applies. So you basically can get your Kill or Leela on the field, special summon out the other one, and then link summon. The way that this is helpful is if your opponent does give you that Nibiru token, then you're already set to be able to link summon into one of the other guys. And this card is searchable by your secret password, so it really does come up. It's nice to be able to just like hold on to that secret password as you're going through your plays. If your opponent then ends up hitting you with Nibiru, your graveyard's already going to be set up, so then you can just use your secret password, search for your challenge, and then during your opponent's turn, you can do some really nice, nasty plays. Getting on into the extra deck, we are playing our 3 copies of Kill. This card is super duper mandatory to be playing at 3, I think. It's just super duper nice. You want to have at least one of them at 3, and this is just a nice one because you can get this guy onto the field, or this girl onto the field, and then get out the Leela from grave, and then maybe pop a card if you're in the grind game, and then Leela can always bring back the Kill from graveyard to draw a card. So I think that these are the right ways to play the ratios. So yeah, basically this card, draw a card, pop a card. It is super duper good, super consistent, and just works amazingly. We are getting on then into our 3 copies of the Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. This card is so good because with this card, you basically just take these 2 to link summon into it. And then with this card, quick effect, you can tribute this card to special summon both of the other 2 from the graveyard, and then you can get their effects off during your opponent's turn for an extra pop and draw, which is insane. And then also during your turn, you can banish this from the graveyard, and then you send one of your Evil Twins from your hand, deck, or field to the graveyard, and then send a card on the field to the graveyard. So you can just send your opponents, like if you have this in graveyard and you still have your Evil Twins, Kill and Leela, and your opponent has out like a Zeus, you can basically just banish this from the graveyard, send the Zeus to the graveyard, and then you can continue on with your plays as normal. It is just so good, so perfect. There's so many big threats that you can send to the graveyard with this. 1 copy of Lingaribo for your Eldritch matchup or anything else that's really back row heavy, and then 1 copy of Transcode Talker. This is a really, really big thing that a lot of Evil Twin people are switching on to, because a lot of people used to be playing Access Code Talker, and the reason why you would play Access is because it's so easy to access because you have these 2 cards which can easily link summon into him. However, the really amazing play that you guys can do, if you guys didn't know this, is that you can basically, if you have these 2 out on the field, let's say that during your opponent's turn, they you trouble Sunny, get these 2 out onto the field, pop 1, draw 1 card, and then during your turn, you end up drawing just another monster. Then what you can do is you can normal summon your Kill, link these away for a Transcode Talker, have Transcode Talker pointing to your Leela here, and then you use your Leela to resurrect your Kill. So Kill will come back to the field. I'll let you draw another card, and then after that, then you link summon these guys into your Trouble Sunny. Then with the Trouble Sunny, you're able to go into battle, swing for 38 here because they gain 500 with your Transcode Talker. Transcode Talker can swing in for 28. So that's going to be already a lot of damage. Then you quick effect tribute this card in order to get out your Leela back and your Kill back. Now your Leela is going to be co-linked again here, so it's going to be gaining 500 attack. So you can swing in for 16 and then 11, which in total is 9,300 damage. So there's a lot of matchups where you maybe can't swing in for game with Access Code Talker. However, Transcode Talker, along with this whole package, can swing in for game. It's a little bit upsetting that you can't blow up cards on the way. However, if you forgot, the Evil Twins Leela can just blow up cards every single turn. So overall, you're not going to be needing to worry about blowing up stuff. And basically, your extra deck is just comprised of light and dark attributes, which means that Access Code Talker is maybe only going to be able to pop 1 or 2 cards per turn. So really, I just think that this is the right way to play the package. Also, if you can't totally extend into that whole play, you can still use Transcode Talker to resurrect your Lingaribo, which I think is really funny because it is a Cyberse, so it does work. Then we were playing 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, 1 copy of Underworld Goddess. This did come up in my Sky Striker matchup. It it came up because I was doing the whole transcode talker thing, and then I realized that I couldn't actually beat my opponent that turn in that Sky Striker matchup. So I basically just took the transcode talker and the Leela and Kiss-a-Kill and one of the opponent's Sky Striker monsters, went into Underworld Goddess, and then they were not able to resurrect the Ray from graveyard because it did not leave by a card effect. It was just by the summoning condition of the Underworld Goddess. So it was really, really solid. It was a good play. One copy of Sky Cavalry Centauria, one copy of Downard, and one copy of Double A Zeus. I was thinking of cutting the Downard for a IP Masquerena. However, it did come up yesterday where I believe also in the Sky Striker matchup, I had summoned out the Sky Cavalry, and the whole bounce effect really didn't matter to me. So basically all I did was I went into battled over one of the Link monsters, then Ray got resurrected, so I never detached a material off of this. Then I just went into the Downard Magician so that I had a 4 material Zeus. Then I was just able to use Zeus in order to, take off 2 materials to get rid of the opponent's field. That way Ray was completely neutralized and in the graveyard and could not come back. And then also I still had 2 more materials for the follow-up play if my opponent did go into something. So overall, I really, really like that strategy. Having the Downard Magician in here was actually like a saving grace for the deck. So let's get on quick into the side deck. It's nothing special, but I am playing our 2 extra copies of Nibiru just for those matchups where Nibiru really comes up. 3 copies of Lancia. It's not the best, but there's matchups where it does come up if you want to play it against Dino or Eldritch. And then if your opponent is playing Lancia to stop you from using like your Evil Twins Trouble Sunny, it's not the best strategy for them because you're really only banishing once per turn. But if they do end up doing it and you want to side this in for a crossout target, you definitely can. We then have 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird just for the matchups where it really comes up. 3 copies of Evenly Matched. This did help me against the Eldritch matchup. Again, I know I'm just talking about my matchups a whole lot, but yeah, the Evenly Matched really, really saved me there when I didn't see the Harpy's Feather Duster. We have 1 copy of Red Reboot, 1 copy of Dark Ruler No More. If you want later games, if your opponent is playing Dark Ruler No More, you can swap this in for one of your forbidden droplets. You can swap this in, and then you're going to be sitting really, really well because then you have another crossout target. 1 copy of Cosmic Cyclone, and then 1 copy of Lightning Storm. I really only 1 copy of Lightning Storm, so that's why I'm only playing the 1. But guys, that is going to do it for my deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it was a little bit over descript, but I just sort of wanted to go over all of the methodology, how this deck works and stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys think about picking this deck up. And again, check out my lore video. I think it was really well done. I really enjoyed doing it, going over the whole lore of Kiss-a-Kill and Leela and just all of the Evil Twin, Live Twin stuff. So definitely go ahead and check that out. I will leave that down in the description below. And we will see you guys for the next profile. Peace.